Hey everybody, Eric J here for Mythicos Studios. How are all of our Mythicosians doing? I wanted to talk to you today about Warcry, one of my favorite games. Johnny Kleber and myself are vanguards for Warcry, and it's a game we love. And a lot of that love has to do with the simplicity of the rule set, but the fact that the game still gives you a lot of tack, strat, with all the scenarios and twists and different warbands that are available. The game is never the same any two times that I play it. The games are fast, and they're just fun. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is how to get into Warcry, and let you know that it's really a very simple game to get into as far as what you need, so you don't have to spend a lot of money. And if you're a fantasy player, you already have models that you can use. So we're just going to go through some of the things that you need, how easy it is to get them. So the game starts out in a starter box. The original starter box, really hard to find now, but Catacombs came out, which gives you everything you need to start playing the game on your own. It actually comes with its own board. The boards are 22 by 30 inches, so they're small. And what's great about that is you can play this anywhere, including your kitchen table if you feel like it. It comes with all the terrain you'll need to put on the board. And part of the fun of Warcry is that there are cards that tell you how to place your terrain. But you can also do it any way you want. Again, a strength of the game. Included in that are 2 warbands that are in-game warbands, which means they are some of the original warbands the game is intended for. Your basic rulebook, cards, stat ability cards for those warbands, some dice, even some really cool measuring devices, which are very flexible and can get around corners. Basically, everything you need to start playing the game. However, if you don't want to buy into an entire starter set, though they're amazing because the boards are beautiful, you can do a lot of things on your own. So first of all, you don't need to have a mat necessarily, although I would recommend one. I've made my own board. You're looking at it here, with Tetra clips, and I have terrain, which you can see on the board over here, that I can use playing my games. So while I love playing the game at Mythico Studios, because I love to be there with other people, just having fun and having a lot of opponents, because the games can be so short in time that you can get several games in just a couple hours. It just amps me up, and I love being in that social aspect. But I can have somebody over to the house, especially when all this is over with the pandemic, and we can play right in my little game room. So what I did was first pick up a warband pack, so you can buy some of the warbands in a box, and I picked up Iron Golems. Iron Golems are a lot of fun because they're tough, strong, but kind of slow. I got all the cards I needed, everything I needed in that one box, and I was ready to go. All I needed were my dice, and then I added things that I'll show you in a while to make the game go a little smoother and easier for me. I also had decided after a couple of games that I wanted to do other warbands, and some of it with models that I already had. So I went ahead and I did that. So I actually have 3 active warbands that I use, and they all have different kind of aspects and abilities, and I really enjoy that. These are all my card packs. This is my death stuff, and I wanted to have a zombie horde, so I do. I have like 8 or 9 zombies that go ahead with a couple of skeleton warriors, seneschals, and a necromancer, and a flying bat. And they're a lot of fun, kind of challenging because of the slowness of the zombies, but it's a zombie horde, and that's what I wanted. And I'll tell you how I got all these cards in just a sec. The next one is my Iron Golems, which are actually here. So everything here came in the pack. So I had all the cards I needed to go with for my Iron Golems. And then I wanted to have a warband that reflects my favorite Age of Sigmar fantasy army, which is Blades of Khorne. So I have a Blades of Khorne demon army. Basically consists of Fleshhounds, Bloodletters, and a Blood Crusher. It's probably my favorite one to play because it's a real good mix of speed, strength, durability. So when you go about making your warbands, obviously you need to know their abilities and all. So the two things you can buy separately, actually is a lot more, but there's the basic core book. It's important to have this book because in the book it has the comprehensive abilities that every warband can use, rules, some history on the 8 points and everything that goes on about it, and it has scenarios in here. So I would get a copy of the core book, and I'll show you what I do to make life easier in just a minute. And then if you're doing something that's not an in-game warband, you just buy a battle tune. So this one is my Bringers of Death, so I can do anything with death, and it encompasses just about all the models available for that. So if you have a death armor, let's say Nighthorn, the rules are in here. And they're not set up as the normal cards are set up. They're set up kind of like that. But what's great about it is you can just use the book, open up that page, or go to a card generator. There are several of them online. We've put a link out before, and I can always get a link to you. And you can actually put these stats in there and make your own card, which I've done for my death armies. I bought the card pack, and it did come with some of the cards, but it didn't come with a bat card or a zombie card. So I was actually able to go ahead and make those cards up. So I actually have cards just like everything else, including bats and zombies. So check it out. That's a zombie card I made myself that I can use in the game, which is incredible that you have that resource. So if you get the book for whatever kind of figures you want to play in the game, you're all set to go. There's nothing else you need to do with it. You can go on and make those cards, or just set up the book so that you can read your stats and all. But I find the cards are a lot easier. When you buy the card packs and all, you get these kind of cards, which are wound counter type things. So I like to put everything in top loaders, and then I use dry erase markers, and I can mark either on those cards or directly onto the card, the top loader card of my character, like you see here, how many wounds they have left. So it makes things really easy. There are cards that go with the game that tell you what the scenario is going to be, what the twist is going to be, how to deploy, because there are orders of deployment. So you can get right through Mythico Studios, I probably have them in there right now, battle plan cards like this. And basically, in here are all the cards you need to play your game. Not expensive, very compact, and there you have it. So you need them, you can just go into Mythicos, grab them, and you're all set. So now you have your warband, your board. Terrain, use anything you want to use. Figure some things out. You can buy terrain. You can make terrain. You want to have some elevation because the game does have scenarios that deal with elevation. And again, it's only a 22 by 30 board, so it's not big. Doesn't take up a lot of space. You can use any mat, in fact, and just measure out 22 by 30, and you're good to go. Just make sure whatever you do has at least 3 inches of height in some areas. Like you see here, you can see there's a vertical height to this. Makes the game a lot more fun, and in fact, if somebody's close to the edge on one of these and you hit them, they can fall down, and I love that. Next thing you're going to want, of course, is dice. So if you're lucky enough and you can get them, you can get Mythicos dice right here with the Mythicos icon on there, which is really cool. And what I recommend is getting something like this. It's just a small little either fishing tackle box or a sewing box. The reason I like this is because when I'm playing my games, if you don't know the rules, you have 6 dice that kind of denote everything you can do, and you use them in different ways. So I keep them up here, and as I get my abilities, look at that. All right, so I have double 4s. I can put them down here to denote that they're down there as my ability dice for what I'm about to do. You can keep your wild dice in here, which are part of the game, and it just helps me to organize and keep things going and shows me what I need to do. There are counters which you'll get with card packs, things like this that you need for the game. If you don't have those, it's okay. You can use any kind of acrylic token once you get a cardboard, but any acrylic token you want, which you can use to just show that things have been activated or are in waiting, or whatever the game calls for. The best thing about this game, so all my models and cards go in this one little box. In fact, you can see one of my warbands right there. And on top of that, all my cards. So my cards fit right in the top of that box next to each other. So I always have at least 2 warbands ready to go whenever I want to play Warcry. The next really good thing about Warcry is I have my books, everything else I need to play in this one bag. Use a backpack, use whatever you want, whatever you need, and it very easily transports anywhere you need to go to. We all know the whole, army bag and battle foam bags that are hanging all over our shoulders when we're running around to play a game. My AOS army literally has a large bag, a box, and then a bag for all my books. But that's an investment of several hours when we're playing a big game, whereas Warcry doesn't have to be that big an investment in time. So the other thing that I've done that I really like to do, and again, you can do it on your own, makes everything easier to deal with, is I use one of these little plastic protectors. What I do is, if you look, I have the allegiance abilities that everybody is allowed to use. They're in the book. You can make a copy. And then on the bottom, I just stick in whatever ability card for whatever I'm using. Here's Allegiance of Nagash. So I always have that with me. Everything there, I can switch it whenever I want, so I'm ready to go. And that's it. That's what you need. So on your own, you can pick up battle plan cards, warband, use warbands you already have, pick up the battle tome, the core rulebook, and dice. You're set. You're really set to go. Anything else you want to add to give you a way to track or make it easy for you to play is all up to you. So you can either buy that starter box set, Catacombs is out, which gives you everything you need to play, including 2 warbands, or you can buy your own warband or cards for a warband for existing models that you already own. Get the core rulebook, get the tome you need for that warband, unless there are battle cards already out, your dice, some markers, you're ready to go. Friday nights, every other week, at Mawa Mythicos, we do Warcry Open Gaming Night. So come on down and see us, get a demo in, and I'll see you from across the table. Later.